unspeakable one. Him who is not to be named. The King in Yellow. Hastur. Up to this point, we have solely discussed entities in the Cthulhu mythos that were created by H.P. Lovecraft.
Well, this entity could also have been created by H.G. Lovecraft. She is pure evil. A Lovecraftian nightmare. chu-thot-lu level entity. In all seriousness, Zoe Quinn is probably a borderline personality disorder. It's someone who's a horrible person. They don't know they're being a horrible person because they have kind of sociopathic tendencies. Other people aren't really real to them. They're not as real to them as themselves. So they almost don't know they're being horrible. And if you've lived a few years and dated around a little bit, you know both men and women can be like this. They're so like narcissists, self-absorbed, but they're more than just type A personalities who definitely want what's best for themselves and their families, which is normal. That's how the humans evolve. It's beyond that. It's like to the level of Narcissus, just staring endlessly into the waters at their reflection. Oh, if you DuckDuckGo Zoe Quinn private messages, this article should be one of the first that comes up. It's a very good article by I'm sure the name will Anna Slatz and Diana Davison. She wrote an earlier article on Zoe, and she's just going off on her, as well she should. This is a horrible person, and it needs to be called out. And unfortunately, someone took their life. And if you have thoughts of that kind of self-harm kind of thing, there's a lot of help out there. Very, very effective community-based help, and also medications that are available. So please get help if you feel this way, because you're worth it. Game developer Alec committed suicide following abuse accusations by fellow indie developer Zoe Quinn. His subsequent removal from Night in the Woods development team, they heel turned on him like a WWE wrestling bad guy. I don't care what you accuse someone of, my friend or my enemy. If you accuse Tim Doyle, who is truly a reprehensible person, of hurting children, I would say, well, you made an accusation. You have to back it up with facts and evidence. Everyone's entitled to due process. To go on an accusation that Zoe Quinn made, someone with a history of shady behavior, look into her crowdfunding campaigns where some things have not been delivered, you wouldn't automatically believe her because the accusation is not the proof. You need to see some evidence. I say, well, okay, did you file a police report? Do you have sworn testimony? Are you under the threat of perjury? Perjury is a felony. It means you're lying, you're giving sworn oath and you lie. That's why perjury is. That's why people accuse politicians, they'll accuse Trump of sexual abuse allegations, but they won't actually go far enough to go to court because they don't want to perjure themselves and wind up in prison. Anyway, so no, you don't believe someone like Zoe Quinn right off the bat. You ask for facts and evidence, and when someone has a history of material misrepresentation of the truth, their burden is a little bit higher because they've cried wolf too many times. Utilizing resurfaced tweets and audio, the Postmillennial released a comprehensive rebuttal of Quinn's statement. That was one of my last videos, detailing the abuse Quinn alleged suffered while living with him in 2012. Okay, they were partners, boyfriend, girlfriend type of thing. And just making a video about this will they'll try to strike the video and they'll downvote it. The channel's very, very small, so odds are they're not going to find it. But she has fans, or maybe acolytes is a better word. For some reason, this has become kind of a feminist versus normie issue. Not really a left versus right issue, because both Zoe and her boyfriend and all the people involved are on the left. But it's like the feminists, the far, far left, just kind of sociopathic, narcissistic feminists, versus the more normal left crowd. And he was dating her, as you'll see in these the tweets they share, the direct messages they share back and forth. And I hate to victim blame the guy, but you should have known that she's nuts after a few weeks. and you just got to cut your losses. It doesn't matter. You think you can't save people. You can't save people like this. You have to cut and run and protect yourself. She is a legitimately dangerous person, and here's the proof. You had your life. She burned your life down because she could, because she's a little girl 400 years ago during the witch trials, and all it takes is the accusation to accuse someone of witchcraft. Little girls were accusing women of witchcraft, and they would drown them or burn them at the stake, all based on a lying child's accusation. So they, Post-Millennial, released that past article that I did a video on, and so they were subjected to a dedicated denial of service attack. So Zoe Quinn has very powerful defenders, white knights, who are also black hats, I guess, in the hacking world, who will take down channels and destroy you. Since publication of the article, more information has surfaced to contradict the statement. Many speculate, and really, if you're going to bat for Zoe Quinn, pick a new horse, to mix metaphors. Sorry, I'm not good at sports. She's not. You don't want to die on that hill with Zoe Quinn. She wouldn't. She would sell you out in an instant. She would unplug your life support to charge your iPhone. She's a horrible person. Don't go. I mean, there are better people to go to bat for. Not Zoe Quinn. Even Anita Sarkeesian. Well, maybe that's a bad example. There are actually a lot of bad people involved in feminism. And I don't mean there are bad people involved in the left. I mean, there are bad people involved in the far left, but there are also good people in the left. But feminism is different. Feminism is a different. If you find a woman and she says she's an egalitarian, then that's definitely what you want to hear. Yes, we want equal rights for everyone. We don't want feminism. And for the most part, in the Western world, we do have equal rights. We don't live in the Middle East. Oh, no. Don't mention the Middle East. Don't mention Islam. Okay, speaking of the post, anonymously due to fears backlash, fellow developers provide dozens of messages exchanged in 2014. Speaking about his experience with Quinn, the authenticity has been verified. Alec reached out to express fears about telling his story, saying, "I've been trying to talk to friends about it for a couple of years," he wrote. "I thought about sharing my story with her a few times, but was always scared to." Okay, these are the messages that follow. I'll go through some of them. I'm talking to friends, talking about her doing this being terrible ruins my career. I don't want a career in this industry. Well, then you shouldn't. Do not insert yourself in crazy. It goes for both sexes. Stay away from legitimately crazy men and women. They are out there. If they are the level of crazy like Zoe Quinn, no, you got to stay away from her. Yeah, I'm really confused by people who are angry about this being shared. Well, because it's a narrative. They're not looking for the truth. They want to continue the narrative of, I don't know, she's a victim or women are victims or something like that. And guys on the left, they get the red pill when they find out that they thought they were feminists, they thought they're on the left, they vote Democrat, they support the left, and then they find that their friends, people they thought they were friends, they're not their friends, they're their allies, their alliances. They will turn on them instantly. You have no friends on the left. If you're a moderate, if you're on the right, you have friends who will stick by you, not because they're necessarily sticking by you. Like if you accuse my friend of something horrific, I would stick by due process. I'm sticking by my friend because facts aren't in evidence yet. You have to prove your accusations. That's what like Western civilization is all about. You don't just cut someone's hand off because of an accusation. You don't, because a woman says she was attacked. That's how, I mean, do these people know any history of the lynch mobs? They might as well wear white sheets because they're acting as if they are the people who would hear an accusation of a woman being hurt and they would just run off and hang somebody. A lynch mob. I think he was completely emotionally wrecked and angry, but it doesn't change what she did, in my opinion. Your story would give credence to his, but it's a really risky move, so I totally understand. These people are so terrified of each other. There's so much backlash if you go into that area. In the chat, Alex said he was wary of making Quinn angry and often had to look for solutions that wouldn't upset his former partner. She said she got into social justice for revenge, which is weird to me. So this is the difference between the legitimate people on the left who are just kind of useful idiots. They think, and there's no social justice. There's only justice, and it should be applied equally. Equal protection to the citizens of the United States. But then there are people like Quinn and Sarkeesian who are just grifters. They're just trying to crowdfund to get money. This is just a way to make a living. They don't give two shits about social justice. They don't give two shits about justice. They don't care about people. Sarkeesian, Quinn, and a few of the others. I think even people on the left, like someone like Tess Holliday, they're absolutely for themselves first and foremost. Another time we went out. She just got wasted and was hitting on all kinds of people. It was super new to me. Like, people I was in a relationship with being super flirty with other people, then you're not in a relationship with her. I was trying not to be judgmental. Yes, you can be judgmental about people acting badly. She kept going to the bathroom and saying a girl there was hitting on her, and after like 3 or 4 times, I was like, you just want to make out with her? Because if you really want to, go for it. Oh, dude, grow some balls. Grow some balls. When you let someone walk over you like that, doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl, do not let people walk over you like that. If someone's doing something, your boyfriend, your girlfriend is doing something you don't like, you say, listen, you want to be with them? Fine. You want to be with me? Then you knock the shit off right now. And it gives them, it's like cold water in their face. They realize, whoa, yeah, okay, you know what? I don't want to be with this guy. Screw you. I'm out. Which is good. You save yourself all the time in a relationship. Or it brings them back to reality. And they realize, ooh, yeah, I needed someone to put me in my place. And then she did the whole, no, I only want to be with you, and then kept going to the bathroom. Later, she had a huge breakdown about how she's probably doing drugs in the bathroom. Everyone hits on her, and it's so unfair and evil. Dip. Run for your life, dude. That's just run. We all know girls like that. Lesser extent guys, but guys get less attention, so there's fewer guys who act like this. I really wanted to say, like, maybe don't be as flirty then, but I knew that would be something she would freak out over. So instead I said, maybe there's something we can do together to avoid the situation. Like, stop being a whore. And she freaked out on me anyways, got really angry at me, said I was discounting her personal experience. In no way was I doing that. I was quite open to listening, trying to understand her personal experience. God, like, there are genuine instances of victim blaming. Telling someone don't put out signals if you don't want to get hit on isn't one. So he paints a very different picture of their time together, suggesting that despite problems present in the relationship, he had been so infatuated with her that he had offered to pay for couples counseling. Oh, you're not married. I'm kind of guessing that if you need counseling, no, you can't. There's no counseling for someone who's borderline personality. That's, you just cut your ties and, wish them best, and you got to move on. If you want to get married and have a family of kids, you can't get married with someone who has that level of mental illness. I'm assuming there's no recovery for someone like Zoe Quinn. I think it's a structural difference in the brain, or brain chemistry differences. So when we first started dating, she came to Winnipeg. She's always in a bad situation. Something bad always happened to her. Yeah, she's just kind of a drama queen. Right off the bat, I was like so in love with her and so happy with the relationship, I suggested we go to couples counseling. That doesn't sound like a good sign to me. I offered to pay for it, whatever, because I knew she was broke. Her response to that was, well, if you think you need that. And I was like, no, this would be for both of us. Talk about whatever's going on. No, you're trying to turn something. You're trying to turn a bulldog into a race dog. Zoe Quinn is not meant for relationships. Not for long-term relationships. Dude, I mean, you wouldn't even want to have sex with her, like sporting sex, because the risk of her having a child has to be prevented at all costs. There's a tiny percentage of people who are legitimate monsters who should not reproduce, and she's definitely one of them. Her child would just be abused by her, and it would be like inadvertent abuse, because sociopaths don't really believe other people are real. He also expressed that he felt those viewing what would have been the Gamergate controversy as an issue of simple sex is more mistaken. Whoa. Having first-hand experience with Quinn, that contradicted the very public narrative. Okay, so he's getting a little bit of red-pilled. But this is a clear case where I know people aren't really looking at it in detail, because I was there in a very similar situation. And it's like, yeah, she's got serious issues and should be working on them if she wants respect. Like, if you don't own your own stuff, it's not easy to own your own stuff, but that would have be an amazing step she could take. The thing is, no matter where she goes, abuse follows her. She is always a victim, never the perpetrator, and that's suspicious at best. So far, I've only seen her run into other messed up situations. Okay, so there's a saying that wherever you go, there you are, because you bring yourself with you. It's like someone will tell you, oh, you know, I had to move out of the city because all my friends were doing drugs, and I was doing drugs, and I had to leave the city, and I went out to the country to move out there. And it's like, well, unless you get into recovery in a 12-step program, you're bringing your addiction with you. So wherever you go, there you are. You can get clean and sober in a city and get clean and sober in a country, because you have to do it. You have to go. Anyway, so his expression of dissatisfaction with the past relationship was a little bit earlier than the controversy, eliminating the possibility that the conversation stemmed from a bitterness towards Quinn's public stance or need to sneakily cover his own past. In simple terms, yeah, everything on the internet is forever. So why Zoe would lie about something so obvious? Because she believes what she wants to believe. And the thing is, when you tell this many lies, you don't even know what the truth is anymore. So he had no motive to mischaracterize the relationship he had with Quinn. His claims in 2013 are consistent with these newly uncovered claims. I'm not going to give you the option to play it. You learn something. Can't wait for Pathological Liar Quest. You already played that, Alec. Coop mode? I got game over pretty early, but from what I hear, the game gets even worse if you keep playing. Yes, especially when you believe the lies. He's continually apologetic towards the feminist cause at multiple points, defending... just take the red pill. It's not... Yeah, maybe getting women to vote was a good thing. Maybe. Getting the Equal Pay Act passed in 1965 was a good thing. But what equal rights... When people talk about gay rights, what rights do gays not have? What rights do women not have? You're in the West. We're not in Afghanistan. He lamented the way the controversy was polarized by ideological interest groups. It's sick that MRA types, men's rights activists, go see how men are treated in family courts. And maybe you'll feel a little bit of empathy when they lose custody to women, like 90% of the time. And use it as more sexism fuel. Well, they're not being sexist. They're standing up for men's rights. As the joke goes, there's a sign that says 1 out of 4 women are homeless, or the homeless 1 out of 4 are women. Well, yeah, that means 3 out of 4 men. Maybe we should do something about them. And actually, he has an eerie prediction where he says, I think people like Zoe are unfortunately going to create more sexism. Yeah, you got a bullseye there. Women are going to be seen as liabilities more and more. Yeah. Nobody Nobody mentors women now. There's no freaking way. Men will not mentor women. They will not hire women anymore. Not in a position where they have to be alone with them. It's not worth it. All it takes is the accusation. If someone like Zoe Quinn can get you fired, someone who has a history of being a malicious, vengeful liar, if her mere accusation will get you fired from your company and will get the Twitter sociopaths to turn on you, then why would anyone want to work with a woman? Why would you hire a woman? Yes, of course, there are these bad women who are hurting women. I know, it's clearly not because she's a woman, it's because she's a shitty person. These messages corroborate Quinn's own assertion that Alec was concerned about the challenges facing women in the gaming industry. It was his primary motivation for interacting with Quinn's tweets. Well, he probably, come on, he liked the way she looked. He probably didn't know how crazy she was, and she just looked good to him. She must have looked very, very sexy to him. And she does have a certain appeal. And you look at her picture, she poses kind of hot, and there's something to her that's sexy. But as soon as you scratch the surface, she goes, whoa, this is way too much for me. I cannot handle this level of crazy. As stated in our September 8th exclusive that I did the video on earlier, this new evidence is not completely exculpatory. It's not completely, but it's pretty good. Does not provide a complete picture of what happened. No, because no one will really have a complete picture. But tweets and direct messages, it's helping to shape the universe in which we're living. It does, however, continue to call into question the credibility of the allegations made by Quinn. More importantly, demonstrate the tragic logic of guilty before proven innocence. Post Millennial reached out to Zoe Quinn, unable to contact Quinn for comment at this time. Shocking. Anyway, check this out. Post Millennial, Zoe Quinn, private messages revealed on DuckDuckGo, and it'll pop up. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. I will see you all next episode.